Previously on Black Bear Forge. Now, how many of you took the time to cut out a blank and start work on it so you're ready to go with this week's video? That's okay if you didn't. We'll finish it. You can go back, watch last week's video again, start from there. The PDF file with the template for this should be available by now, and there'll be more about that at the end of the video. But without further delay, let's get back to work on our miner's candlestick. Well, that's all the major forge work done. We just need to do any filing or cleanup on most of this, and we need to cut the sheet metal part that's going to be the candle cup, because this really isn't the shape we want. It'll probably work, but we can make it a lot cleaner and neater than that. Now the candle holder gets rolled up, and on the ones I'm doing, I roll it up to the inside, and it has this little thumb piece here that you can use to kind of spring it open, and that makes it easier to get the candle in. So you don't actually want it to come together and connect. There's a little bit of a gap down in there. Might be able to see it better from the bottom side. And you have to calculate that based on what the size of your candle is. So this is where you need to figure out the circumference of the candle plus the thickness of your cup material. Add those together, then multiply it times pi, or 3.14, and that'll give you the complete circle that you need if you want them to touch. It's also okay if this little bit of the arm or the bow is part of the candle cup. So for mine, I calculate this out. I need 2.5 inches. So if I have more like 2.25 inches when I get to this point, I will be okay with that. And I'm just going to kind of rough this in to give you an idea here. And the actual thumb piece is just sort of up to whatever you want it to look like. Now we just have to cut this out. And you can cut this out however you want. You can do this with a sheet metal shear. You can do it with a little portaband on a stand like I use for so many things. You can do it at the anvil with a chisel. Some of it you can do in the vise with a chisel. And I'll show you how to cut this long cut off in the vise real quick. Just makes it fast and easy. And it's really a pretty common technique for doing sheet metal work like this. So I just put this in the vise with my line at the top of the vise and use a cold chisel. And essentially you're creating a shear between the vise jaw and the cold chisel. Now that I've established a straight line across here, I'll use that to draw my marks in here next to the thumber. And that way I'm more likely to get those correct. Perhaps you've got a coin that's just the size you want, or a washer or something like that. You can use that to trace this part. It's just all whatever you want it to look like. And I do find the little portaband to be an ideal way to do this. It should just be a matter of a little bit of filing. Make sure there's no sharp edges. Now this is the time to clean up this edge if it needs anything. This one doesn't look too bad. Again, make sure there's no sharp edges. So with the candle cup, or thimble I think they might be called on these, all ready to go. We're going to do a little bending. First thing I'm going to do is put a 90-degree bend in this so that the candle cup is not interfering with this other arm. If you bend the candle cup the other way, you don't have to do that. But I think this makes for a more elegant miner's candle when it looks like this. Put about half of that out of the vise there. Go ahead and bend that over. I also took the time off camera to put my name on there. This is not an upset corner. This is just starting to get this to shape. I'm not going to try and do this all by eye and by hand like this. We're going to make it a little easier on ourselves. And we're going to go to a swedge. And this is the other portion of the swedge we made the other day. I'm going to get in there as close as I can this way, and then we'll finish it up. And by putting a little mandrel the size of the candle in there, we can make this go just a little bit smoother on ourselves. Yep, managed to tuck my thumber in. See, I told you don't round the thumber up. I'm gonna have to fix that. You guys just sitting there watching, laughing at me, say, I can't believe he's gonna do that. But would anybody tell me? No. Now we can straighten that back out a little bit. It's also real easy for this candle cup to start to spiral because it's supported more down here and free up here, so it takes a little bit of fiddling. Without rolling the thumber back into it. Just bring it a little bit. Don't want it round, just want it in there. So next I want to bend the hook, and this goes to the outside, so it's on the same side as the candle cup. That's really all there is to it. Just a very simple, elegant little hook. Now's the part that tells us if we've been doing everything right. We just want to bend that bow around. And you want those two shoulders where we swedged the bar to come out next to each other. So this shoulder and that shoulder should be right opposite each other here. And one way to do this is to grab it with a pair of bigger tongs. Just give it a squeeze. There'll be plenty of adjusting to do here, but you kind of get the idea. Maybe need to put these in the vise to get everything to come together just right and tweak them and fuss with them, but this is getting pretty close. It's got a few little twists in here that we need to work on. I've got this unfinished axe head sitting on the forge, and it makes a nice little bottom block. So just fuss with that until it's what you want. I think they should sit flat this way. Once you're pretty sure you got all that right, good time to give it a wire brushing. it around one more time and bring the spike out to a nice point. Then it will be time to put a little bit of wax on it to give it a nice finished appearance. Well, here we have our miner's candlestick based on the samples by Francis Whitaker. I don't know if it's exactly the size his is because I don't have his to compare. And it fits a 3/4 inch candle fairly well. You can push on the little thumber there to help get the candle down in there. And that's an awfully tall candle. And they don't really balance this way, obviously, but it's balancing pretty good in this direction, so that's not bad. As far as the candle holder being in front of the hook, or even with the hook, or behind the hook, I don't think it matters that much. You see them all different ways. There seems to be some logic that it should balance left to right, but it'll never balance front to back because the hook is on one side and the candle's on the other side. But there are lots of variations. Most of these I've made. This is actually one that's an antique that I bought off of eBay, and it's a very common style on eBay. You'll find several dozen of these for sale that are exactly like this. They were commercially made, lots of other commercial ones. In fact, there's a whole book on patents for miner's candlesticks. I thought about buying it, but used, it was $250, and I could only find the one copy. So I probably won't be doing that. But I do think that I'm going to be experimenting with this idea for a long time to come. There's lots of other styles I would like to try. And particularly, I want to try one that Mark Asprey does a video on, and I'll link to his video right up here. Mark takes a little bit different approach than Francis took. Instead of blanking this out and doing a cutout to start with, he forges the point out, splits the hook out, draws out the part that'll be the bow and the candle holder, makes it all work out quite well. And in some ways, I think his method might be a little easier to forge, but I think starting with a blank like this makes it easier to understand and it's easier to wrap your head around. But once you've made one or two of them, try some other techniques, look online. I'll put some links down in the description to some of the websites I found for collectors that collect a bunch of these things. Some are very plain, and some of the ones people are collecting are extremely ornamental, probably weren't used by your average everyday miner, but were meant to be something special at the time. Now, I made sure I put my touch mark on this, and that's something Mark mentions in his video on doing these, how important it is to mark this so it doesn't get confused with an antique. We're not trying to pass these off as antiques. People still collect the new ones. There's still a market for these if you want to make them for sale, but don't try to pass off a brand new one as an antique. That's just a rotten thing to do, and you shouldn't even be thinking about it. Now, what would I do on this one different? The main thing is I think I made my candle cup a little small. I had been making them a little larger than I wanted. This one ended up a little bit small. I think the actual candle part maybe 2 3/8, which works out to about 60 millimeters. I know I didn't give metric measurements throughout all this, but since there's no set pattern and you can make these look like just about anything you want, the sky's the limit. Have fun with it. Try different things. Try different techniques. Look at some of those examples online and see if you can replicate some of those. If we weren't already doing a hook of the week, maybe we'd be doing a miner's candle of the month. Now, some people have asked recently, what's going on in this back room here? They see the stacked up soda cans and the bottles and things like that, and they're curious what I'm actually up to back there. So that was a good excuse to make a video for the Off Topic with John Switzer channel. And if you want to know what's going on back there, there's a link to that video right here. But that's really all I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. If you haven't done so already, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. Feel free to stick around, watch a few of the other videos, share the videos with your friends. If you'd like to support the channel financially, there are links in the video description for both PayPal and Patreon. Those are merely donations. The content is free and will remain free. In the meantime, I hope you have time in your day to get out to your shop, make something, even if it isn't a miner's candle holder, but stay safe, wear your safety glasses. We'll see you for the next one. Earlier in the video, I mentioned there would be a PDF drawing of this project. Check down there in the video description and I will have a link to the Etsy shop. That drawing will be available there. I'm not sure what the exact cost will be. It'll be pretty cheap. It's just enough to cover my wife's time. She's been working on it all afternoon.